Warm greetings to all our dear listeners. Long ago, the legendary Cao Cao once said, a bold and powerful line: "I would rather betray the world than let the world betray me." He dared to say that because he possessed the ability to control his destiny and even the destiny of others. People who are strong and powerful always have their own unique survival codes. So, how can we become as strong as Cao Cao? Today, I'll share with you the 3 survival principles of the strong, summarized in 3 words. Don't argue, don't blend in, and don't participate. Let's begin with the first: don't argue. Now, this doesn't mean being unreasonable or causing trouble. It's a reminder that the world is not a place where reason alone rules. Whether it's within your family, at work, with superiors, or in the face of injustice, relying solely on logic rarely solves real-life problems. Take family life as an example. Many people are used to debating and defending their points of view outside the home, and they bring that same attitude back into their family. But home is not a courtroom. Family doesn't need cold logic, it needs warm love. A man who constantly argues with his wife isn't proving that he's right. He's showing that he no longer loves her. Because when you start explaining everything logically, your partner doesn't feel understood, they feel lonely. No matter how successful you are outside, when you return home, take off the mask of reason. Show more tolerance, more care, and less logic. In the workplace or in business, people also don't follow reason, they follow interests. As the saying goes, the world moves for profit, and the world fights for profit. If you can make people's interests clear, they'll stand with you. But if all you do is argue that you're right, you'll often end up isolated. The best way to communicate at work is to put yourself in the shoes of others, your colleagues, your clients, and help them achieve what they want. Only then will you earn respect and a stable position. When dealing with superiors or people in authority, arguing is even more inappropriate. In those situations, what matters most is respect. No matter how right you are, always remain humble and courteous. The more you argue, the more you'll be seen as disrespectful or lacking manners. And if your boss happens to be a strong-willed person, the wiser path is to stay patient and calm. Quietly build your strength instead of confronting them head-on. Likewise, when you're the one in power, a leader, a mentor, or a senior, don't overuse reasoning with those below you. The ancient general Han Xin once said, "Assign people according to their abilities." A good leader knows how to recognize each person's strength and place them in a position where they can shine. Don't focus on their weaknesses. True kindness in leadership is giving others space to grow, instead of demanding everything be crystal clear from the start. When subordinates feel trusted and respected, they'll naturally follow you with loyalty. But if all you do is argue and criticize, they'll feel devalued, and eventually they'll leave you. When it comes to conflicts, logic also can't save you. Imagine getting into a fight. Even if you're right, the law won't care who started the argument. The only thing that matters is what you did. If you hurt someone, you'll be held accountable, regardless of who was right or wrong. So instead of wasting time debating justice on the street, learn how to use the law to protect yourself. In the same way, when facing injustice, don't just shout about it. Learn how to fight with wisdom and the right tools. We've seen many cases recently, like road rage incidents, where people lost control, got angry, and ended up fighting. Those actions were recorded and used as evidence, and even if they believed they were right, the moment they acted violently, they became guilty in the eyes of the law. So remember this: the strong don't waste their time arguing over right and wrong. They understand that true power lies in control. Control over one's words, one's actions, and one's emotions. Only when you learn not to argue will you truly start walking the path of strength. When people lose control and resort to violence, no matter how right they believe they are, the result is always the same: the attacker will face the consequences. This shows us something important. Instead of complaining or shouting about fairness, we must learn how to protect our own rights. Only then can we truly survive and stand firm in a world that doesn't always reward logic. Of course, don't argue doesn't mean acting recklessly or ignoring all boundaries. As Lu Buwei once said, everything must have its limits. Excess leads to failure. Rejecting pointless arguments doesn't mean abandoning principles. True strength lies in knowing when to stop balancing emotion and reason, standing firm yet flexible. That's the mark of a truly wise and strong person. Now, let's talk about the second character of strength: don't blend in. To many people, this phrase sounds negative. It might seem like not blending in means being antisocial, isolated, or uncooperative. But when you carefully observe those who truly succeed in life, you'll notice something. They all share one thing in common. They are different. They don't easily blend in with the crowd. They don't blindly follow trends. They don't chase after every social connection or opportunity. They're willing to not blend in, not because they're cold or arrogant, but because they deeply understand that most social interactions in this world are inefficient and empty of real value. Take, for example, all the parties and social gatherings that fill our modern lives. At first glance, they seem like great opportunities to expand your network, to show yourself, to find new chances. But have you ever stopped to think, among all the people you meet at those events, how many truly understand you? How many would genuinely be there when you need help? The answer, for most of us, is very few. Most social events are just polite exchanges, surface-level chatter. They consume time, money, and energy, yet bring almost no lasting value. Some people, desperate to seem friendly and social, constantly try to prove their presence. They join every gathering, laugh at every joke, and try to please everyone. All because they're afraid of being left out, afraid of being alone, afraid of not belonging. But this blind need to blend in is exactly what makes them lose themselves. They forget who they are. They forget what they truly want from life. The strong, however, never waste time on meaningless socialization. They're not afraid of solitude. They choose to live differently, to focus on learning, thinking, and deepening their skills. In that quiet space of solitude, they find growth, mastery, and fulfillment. Things the overly social will never experience. As the philosopher Nietzsche once said, all truly great thoughts are conceived in solitude. Every deep soul, every great mind, has been forged in silence and reflection. Of course, not blending in doesn't mean completely cutting off from the world. It doesn't mean refusing to communicate or to care about others. In fact, strong people, despite appearing independent, are excellent at building high-quality relationships. They don't value shallow connections. They cherish those few who truly understand and resonate with them. For them, socializing is never the goal, it's merely a tool. They don't chase after popularity or attention. They aim to connect with those who share their values and dreams. They don't flatter others for approval, but they are willing to put in effort to earn the respect and cooperation of people who share their vision. Only when you surround yourself with the best, with those who challenge and uplift you, can you continue to grow stronger, choosing not to blend in, daring to walk your own path. This is, in truth, an act of courage and deep self-confidence. People who always compare themselves to others or rely on the crowd for validation are often insecure. They don't truly believe they deserve better. But the strong, they dare to be different. They dare to live life on their own terms. Through years of self-cultivation and solitude, they develop a solid inner foundation. They understand that as long as they keep improving, they will naturally attract those who recognize and appreciate their worth. They create their own world, one that reflects their values, their spirit, their truth. As the saying goes, when you move others with sincerity, virtue will naturally follow. When your soul is genuine, when you dare to walk your own road, you will eventually meet people who truly value you. So, the next time someone mocks you for not blending in, remember this: you are not being strange. You are being strong. When people mock or criticize you for being different, remember their discomfort comes not from your flaws, but from your uniqueness. Strong people don't need to force themselves to blend in. They simply live truthfully, waiting patiently for time to reveal the answer that words never could. Now let's talk about not participating. The ancient sage Lao Tzu once said, "Because I do not compete, no one in the world can compete with me." Similarly, Stanley Ho, the legendary king of casinos in Macau, once said something that surprised many. The greatest win is not to gamble. Even though he built an empire around gambling, he himself never played and forbade his family from doing so. This tells us something profound. The ability to not be swept away by the crowd, to resist temptation and unnecessary battles, is a sign of true wisdom. In life, we will all face criticism and malicious doubt. Most people's natural reaction is to defend themselves, to argue, to explain, to prove their innocence. But what they don't realize is that this only makes them more tired, more vulnerable, and more trapped. There's an old saying, if someone wants to accuse you, they'll never run out of reasons. When someone intentionally spreads rumors or slanders you, no amount of explaining will change their mind. Their goal isn't to understand you. It's to drag you into their web of arguments, to make you waste your time and energy defending yourself. Once you start explaining, you've already stepped into their trap. No matter what you say, they'll twist your words until you're speechless and exhausted. That's why the smartest way to respond to malicious doubt is not to play their game at all. Don't explain, don't respond, don't argue. Because those who truly understand you don't need an explanation. And those who don't, no explanation will ever be enough. Instead of wasting breath, let your silence and your actions speak. Let results be your defense. As long as your conscience is clear, keep walking your path. Time will always restore truth. As the saying goes, clear water will stay clear, muddy water will settle on its own. The more you try to justify yourself, the more material you hand to those waiting to attack you. Only by refusing to enter their game can you protect your energy, your peace, and your dignity. In the same way, when navigating complex relationships, keeping your inner independence and calm is absolutely vital. In social psychology, there's a concept known as the pickle jar effect. It describes how different vegetables, when pickled together in the same jar, eventually lose their unique flavors and all start tasting the same. But if they are preserved separately, each keeps its distinct taste and character. This is a perfect metaphor for life. If you cannot influence those around you, you'll soon be influenced by them. Spend too much time among people who complain, and their negativity will seep into your mind like a virus. But surround yourself with those who are positive, and you'll naturally become more driven and optimistic. That's why strong people build mental boundaries. They don't allow the pickle jar of society to spoil their spirit. Specifically, avoid those who are constantly jealous, resentful, or full of complaints. When faced with negative energy, learn to stay cool and distant. Don't argue, don't respond, and don't absorb it. Instead of sinking with them, create space. Space to breathe, to think, to do meaningful work. Only when you can remain detached, not emotionally entangled in other people's chaos, can you stay pure and unpolluted by the world around you. However, independence does not mean indifference. It doesn't mean turning a blind eye to others' suffering. As the saying goes, respect the elderly as you would your own parents. Love the young as you would your own children. True strength is quiet compassion. To stay centered in your own path, yet still hold kindness and empathy in your heart. The strong don't compete. They don't explain. They don't blend in. They simply rise. By mastering themselves, not the world. Because the moment you no longer need to prove anything to anyone, you've already won. In life, we will always meet people who need help, and of course, we should reach out warmly, lend a hand, and bring comfort where it's needed. But when it comes to negative emotions, pointless arguments, or toxic debates, we must learn to step away. This isn't avoidance, it's wisdom. It's composure. It's a conscious choice to protect your peace. When someone mocks, provokes, or tries to make you angry, the smartest response is silence. Don't lower yourself to their level. People who try to drag you down are really just hoping to distract you, drain your energy, and pull you away from your own path. Once you fall into that trap, they win. You lose focus, you waste time, and you let them control your emotions. So, when faced with malicious criticism or false rumors, the best response is not to argue, but to ignore. The more you explain, the more suspicious you appear. In the end, the one who suffers most is you. As time passes, baseless rumors fade on their own, as long as you don't feed them. Lao Tzu once said, "The one who fights skillfully leaves no trace. The one who argues wisely doesn't need to debate. The one who truly works needs no praise." The truly wise don't waste energy arguing with small-minded people. They stay calm, conserve their strength, and move forward with quiet determination. Differences in opinion are natural, but when we express disagreement, we should learn to step into the other person's shoes, to listen with empathy instead of fighting for victory. Most arguments don't become toxic because people disagree too much, but because they lose respect for each other and start taking pleasure in the other's defeat. But the mindset of a strong person is different. They know that competing for the last word is not wisdom, it's weakness. True strength lies not in proving others wrong, but in constantly improving yourself. Instead of battling with others, the wise focus on their own growth. Instead of holding grudges, they choose tolerance and forgiveness. They give others a way out not because they're weak, but because they understand peace of mind is priceless. When you stop getting caught up in meaningless conflicts, you earn real respect. Not arguing, not following the crowd, not joining useless fights, it might look passive at first glance. But in truth, it's a sign of deep wisdom and emotional mastery. In this noisy and superficial world, those who aren't blinded by appearances, who aren't tempted by vanity, are the truly powerful ones. They stay calm, independent, and unshaken, walking their own path even when it's lonely. As the writer Nick once said, "Better to live alone as your true self than to blend in and become one of the countless ordinary souls." Only those who dare to be different, who walk their own way, can discover their unique world and reach a level of freedom and authenticity that few ever touch. Maybe not all of us are geniuses like Cao, but if we understand the principles of the strong, to not argue, to not blindly follow, and to not join meaningless fights, we will surely find our rightful place in life and live in peace and serenity. Because as the old saying goes, go where others don't dare to go. Do what others don't dare to do. That is not just courage, it's wisdom. And in this noisy, restless world, that wisdom may be the very key to finding your inner peace and true self. There's a saying that goes, not arguing doesn't mean you're wrong, it means you're wise. To not argue doesn't mean being unreasonable or stubborn. It's a gentle reminder that sometimes arguing is not the best way to solve a problem, whether it's at home, at work, with loved ones, or with strangers. Not every situation needs to be debated or defended. Take marriage, for example. Between husband and wife, there's rarely an absolute right or wrong. A happy family doesn't need endless arguments. It needs love, patience, and understanding. Sometimes, the more you try to explain or prove your point, the colder the relationship becomes. So, when you come home, put aside the need to be right. Set aside logic and calculation. Bring warmth instead of words, and nurture your home with gentleness and empathy. And lastly, not joining meaningless games is a reminder for us to stay calm amid the chaos of life and relationships. In this world, right and wrong are rarely absolute, and success or failure is never final. Instead of wasting time and emotions on pointless debates, create your own space of stillness, a place where you can focus on what truly matters. When others criticize, gossip, or speak ill of you, the best response is simple: don't respond. The more you defend yourself, the more you appear guilty in their eyes. Truth doesn't need to shout. It quietly exists in the hearts of those who see clearly. Learn to stay out of drama, to not let negativity control you. That's how you keep calm and steady through the storms of life. Kindness and integrity, these are the cornerstones of being human. When we see someone in pain, we should still reach out, offer warmth and hope. But our kindness must come from the heart, not from a desire to please others. Our integrity must come from within, not from the pressure of external judgment. Only when we stop being distracted by vanity and empty praise can we truly stand firm and live peacefully, feeling abundance from within our souls. Life, after all, revolves around choices and sacrifices. We choose between simplicity or ambition, between going with the flow or swimming against the current, between bowing to reality or chasing a dream. These choices, small as they seem, shape the entire course of a person's life. Strong people are not only talented, they are resilient in spirit. To not argue, not follow the crowd, and not join meaningless battles may seem negative at first glance, but in truth, it's deeply positive. It may look gentle, but it's actually strength. Only with this mindset can we stay pure amidst the chaos of human affairs and move steadily through the long river of life. Each of us should learn from the strong. Train your mind. Broaden your vision. Learn to use the calm of not arguing to face conflicts. Use the courage of not following the crowd to discover your true self. And use the wisdom of not joining in to resolve disputes. With time, you'll find greater clarity, peace, and strength, reaching a state of life where you have no regrets and no shame before your own conscience. As the old saying goes, great truths are often simple. Great wisdom often appears naive. When you understand the way strong people live, you'll understand the truth of life itself. To not be bothered by gossip, to not be shaken by noise, and to keep your heart clear and still, like a quiet, deep stream. Face life with the heart of the strong. With calmness and grace, walk through the storms. When you can do that, you become the most radiant version of yourself. A strong soul worthy of respect. I hope that both you and I can carry the heart of the strong. To live a meaningful life, to stay true to our conscience, and to rise above the noise of the world. We may not be able to control everything that happens around us, but we can always control our emotions within. So train your heart with compassion, live with love, and grow into the best version of yourself, strong, peaceful, and truly deserving of success. That is the true wisdom of life.